everybody, Kelly Whitney here. Welcome back to my series, 40 Things Older Black Women Should Tell Younger Black Women and Don't. Let's see, what number are we on? I think we're on number 8. We're on number 7. I gotta check real quick at night before I misspeak. We're on number 8. Hey, you guys are gonna love this one. This is a hard one though, okay? So strap yourself in. Number 8 thing older black women should tell younger black women and don't talk so much. Move in silence. Black women are the mule of the world. I think that was Alice Walker who said that, if I'm not mistaken. But she was not kidding. If you're not suffering or working, the rest of the world is pretty much looking at you like, why aren't you suffering and working? You're a black woman, right? Be like, no, not interested in that. But moving in silence and not talking so much is a great way to protect yourself from nonsense. I know how hard it is to not talk to people all the time because I'm chatty. I don't know, you can probably tell, hey. But it's tough for me. It's tough when you like people, they're friendly towards you. You know, I'm guilty of oversharing at the drop of a dime, right? And when I worked in publishing, I used to be a magazine editor for many years. And one of my junior editors, charming young woman, excellent family, very smart, fabulous, right out of school. And she was such a good listener. I was going through it with my family at that time. Like my mom was like really putting me through it. And I was trying to figure out how I was gonna navigate that relationship. And I overshared. And she was a great listener. And she never did anything to me. She never like broke my confidence that I'm aware of. It never got back to me if she did. But in hindsight, many years later, I really put that girl in a bad position. I probably made her feel uncomfortable. And basically, because I was her boss, I was holding her hostage. You know, I was forcing her to be like a pseudo therapist and just listen to all my nonsense while I got it off my chest. And that's not right, you know? And it could have gone very badly. She could have broken my confidence. She could have told people in the office, you know, they could have shaped the narrative however they wanted to, and I would have been the loser. I'm almost certain of that. But she didn't, but it could have gone that way. And so that's why it's very important that you be protective of your life and your story and don't overshare. Don't talk to everybody. However hard it might be, if you're chatty, you got to learn to clip it. Stop it. Don't chit chat to everybody. Everybody's not your friend. Everybody's not trustworthy. I was in the Apple store once and this very handsome young man waited on me and I said, you're very quiet, very reticent, almost stoic in a way. And he said, yeah, it's deliberate because this is how I stay out the mix. And I said, I hear that. Tell me more. And he told me that he'd always been that way. He used to work in the military. This was kind of like his second career. And he'd been burned a couple of times. And because of that, he had developed this very stoic facade and it was working for him. People would always comment, oh, you're so quiet, this, that. He did not respond. They were dangling the bait. He didn't bite. He didn't pick it. He didn't care. Nope, you're not gonna get me. That was his, motto. And I support it 100% because the other thing about moving in silence, beyond protecting yourself from other people taking a hold of your information and then crafting their own narrative to do with what they will and potentially use it against you in a negative way, is that when you move in silence, it's very difficult for people who might be quietly envious of you or quietly jealous of you to squawk. And if you're petty, and aren't we all to some degree, isn't it better for you to have the party after you close on the house? Isn't it better for you to show a picture of the framed degree after you get it? Isn't it better to drive up in your new car after you get the keys, Because when you tell people preemptively about things, if they're the wrong people and something happens, they're gonna pick at you and oh, well, I knew you couldn't do it and this and that. And next thing you know, you got all this negativity dumped on your head. And I think the reason that older black women don't tell younger black women that they need to be quiet they have that problem themselves. They might be too chatty, they might be oversharers. And I think it's common among older Black women because it's rare, first of all, that we actually have someone who's gonna listen to us and truly listen and hear what we say. And so I think we're probably like a perennial group of oversharers. It's really important to selectively share, to strategically share. I'm not saying you should be mute, but it's not uncommon in a workplace scenario, for instance, for you to go there and say what you're doing or say what you're planning, and then the next thing you know, it comes back to bite you because this person told that person, and now, they're questioning your commitment to the organization, or, oh, well, there's actually a policy where we're not allowing, people to do this, that, and the other. Good night. If you don't tell people your business, you don't have problems like that. They say that the enemy never comes from afar. The enemy is always right next to you. And I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just keeping it real with you. Because that is the reality that we live in. And a lot of times that enemy, you may not even know that it's an enemy. Just protect yourself and move in silence. Be selective about what you share. Be strategic about what you share. And the other thing about sharing too much is people will use your weaknesses against you. So don't give them anything to use. Don't give them any ammo. And that's it. That's all. So move in silence. That's lesson number 8 of my 40 things that older Black women should tell younger Black women but don't. So I hope you guys come back for number 9. Thank you.